Welcome everybody, Kimberly Olson, also known as the Goal Digger Girl, coming in live for a special treat for my Goal Diggers because we get to interview Reggie Flowers. He is the author of The Art of the Struggle. He is an amazing previous network marketer, but now what he does is he is dedicated to helping people like us to be successful in our careers and make sure we are committed to our mission and helping serve other people. So welcome, Reggie. I'm so excited to have you on. Thank you for doing this.
Kimberly, it's truly an honor and a privilege for me to be on right now, and I am extremely excited for this conversation. It's going to be a powerful conversation.
Yes, I've been looking forward to it. I'm a little nervous because I'm so excited. So what I'd love to do is if you're watching this live, if you can share below, have you ever seen Reggie before? Are you new to Reggie? If you could ask, he's a multimillionaire, you guys. He is walking the talk. So if you could ask somebody their success secrets, what would you like to know? Share in the comments and we'll make sure to touch on that today. So Reggie, why don't you start by telling everybody a little bit about you and your background and what got you into the world of entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. The remarkable thing about my background is the fact that I really had no interest prior to being an entrepreneur getting into the industry. So my mother used to always tell me in high school that you'd be a great businessman. And I'm like, no, I want to go to school, become a surgeon, and have a very standard structured life. However, obviously she was right. You know, mom knows best. But really, my journey as an entrepreneur really was like a fail safe. You know, I was actually attending Oakland University, which is here in the state of Michigan. And I was pre-med, preparing for medical school, doing exactly what I need to do. However, when I began shadowing physicians, Kimberly, I quickly realized that their lifestyle and the stress and just when I shadowed them, I wasn't excited, right? It was quickly like, what's going wrong, right? And so that kind of deterred me. And I knew two things about myself. Number one, I wanted to help and serve people, and I also wanted to do well, right? So those were kind of like my parameters of kind of gauging what I wanted to do. And literally through a newspaper article my mother was featured in, ended up somehow in upstate New York. A very successful woman in a marketing company contacted my mother. My mother then contacted me, and I found myself in the industry. And I got excited about having the opportunity to learn from those that were proven, to having the opportunity to get educated versus being schooled, right? You know, Mark Twain says it best, right? Don't allow your schooling to get in the way of your education. And I began to learn the distinction between the two. And so I began that journey, struggled for a little bit, primarily just because of the male ego, right? Even though I was young and broke, I thought I knew what I was doing just because I was always confident, and that confidence really was arrogance. And so after hitting the pavement, on the ground, so to speak, several times, I realized you should probably follow the system. It's producing results. You don't have results. Why don't you follow? And literally, after struggling for about 6 months, I made a decision that I was just going to be coachable and teachable. A year later, I produced $1 million business, a six-figure income. Then I scaled, in my early 20s because I started when I was 19. I left that out.
Amazing.
And by the time I was 25, I was running a multi-million-dollar business in my company, multiple six-figure income, and everything was well. However, I kind of took my eye off the ball. My focus shifted. There was a girl involved. There's a lot of travel, a lot of spending involved. And I found myself kind of falling into what I refer to as the valley of refinement, or the jungle of struggle. And there I was like, what am I going to do? And there's a couple of things I quickly realized during that refinement. Number one, I was out of line spiritually, right? So that being out of alignment, the grace, the favor, the protection was out of alignment. I also realized that I had to get better, that even though I had believed I had created so much success, it was an I factor versus we and he. And so when I really began to reevaluate my position, that's when I created the Art of the Struggle, because I wanted to create really a depiction and a strategy on how to turn it all around. And I wanted to be my first case study, which is exactly what I did. I wrote the book in 90 days. I performed the book for about a year before I even released it. And literally, that led me segueing out of the industry of network marketing as a builder into consulting for both public and privately traded network marketing companies. And then as those things went well, I got into the interest of really beginning to follow billionaires, right? I started studying, evaluating, And I'm like, okay, it's again, monkey see, monkey do. So I kind of equated everything to network marketing. I said, there's a pattern, there's a system. If you follow that process and a system, you can produce results even at a higher level. And so that's led me into the area of like private equity, buying, acquiring companies, turning companies around, and still building them like they're network marketing businesses, which is kind of crazy. Developing the people, developing the culture. And then instead of it being like an independent person, now it's an independent business with people within that company. But my heart has always been with developing, coaching, training, working with people, helping them see their potential, helping them get spiritually aligned, and then most importantly, helping them maximize their purpose here on earth. And so I'm grateful to be here and continuing that journey.
That is so inspiring. I love that. And I feel like success does leave clues. And that's why I want people to know like what your journey was. And oh my gosh, your book, there's so much. And I already know the answer to this, but I want people to hear it. So did you have somebody, because whenever I listen to Tony Robbins or even Jack Canfield, I feel like everybody had somebody that just kind of put their arm around that person. And to me, it didn't even sound like they were seeking them. So I don't know if they didn't unveil the whole story, but since I get to ask you straight up.
Sure.
Seek a mentor. Did someone just reach out and grab you? Like, did you have someone to coach you?
So there's been like phases of mentors. Okay. So in network marketing, there's this incredible woman. Her name is Debbie. And Debbie literally wrapped her arms around me, not only as a business partner, but as like a surrogate mother, right? And I think what I really took from her was the importance of integrity and ethics in business, right? Mm-hmm. To always be transparent and be ethical. She was known for that. She stood the test of time. She was proven, right? Then as I began to shift, there was mentors from afar, right? And especially in the billionaire space, but hands-on, there's another gentleman that entered my life right around this season, everything crumbled. And I truly love the fact that when you're working to get in alignment, okay, and people are like, what does that really mean? Well, when you're incongruent with your thoughts and your emotions and your feelings, right, it's clear. It's clear to everyone. It's clear to you. Even if you don't even recognize it, if you're aware, it becomes clear. So when you're getting in alignment, you know, there's a path that there are people that are going to step into your path that are going to help you elevate to the next level when you're ready. And so this gentleman was the gentleman by the name of Marcus, and Marcus and his wife, LaDonna, I spent some time with them because I needed, number one, to make some money. And so they had their own business and they allowed me to work for them for a season. But what they really helped me understand was the power of a partnership between a husband and wife, okay? Mm-hmm. And seeing the power in that union. And so I literally witnessed the way that they prayed together, the way that they operate their company. There was like this supernatural favor over their business, okay? Like protection would happen in ways where you're like, there's just no way. It just makes no sense.
How do you explain it?
And so I immediately, and this is no exaggeration, at that time, my wife was my girlfriend. And I came back and I said, we got to get married. And she was like, well, I've been waiting for you to ask. She's like, but you're going to ask. And I was like, oh, absolutely, I'm going to ask. But now I'm like, that inspired me in a way. People say, well, what about loving her? Like, that was not easy. It took the concern, the fear of being a man as a provider out the way, realizing that once I had that union power, the provision would follow, right? Mm-hmm. And so I just decided to move forward. So Marcus entered my life. And then there's also sometimes mentors that enter your life that sometimes don't mean well, but they provide skill. And God has a way of utilizing people in unique ways. And I don't have a lot of time to spend on that, but there's two gentlemen that have built this huge, massive company, hundreds of millions of revenue. And I spent a season with them really understanding traditional business because I was just a network marketer. I understood people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I realized that all transactions are backed by people. So I therefore understood that if I wanted to get to another level in business, continue to understand people patterns and recognize those patterns would be beneficial to me, but I still need to know business. Mm-hmm. And so I spent about a year with these guys. That relationship fell apart, but the information I gathered was priceless. And so there was a series of people that have entered my life, and now I have another gentleman who, is where I would like to be, where he's a centimillionaire, and, just being aligned with him in different facets, I get to get so much information condensed in a small period of time. And then I think I'm blessed, like many people, with the ability to learn. So I always tell people, if you can be resourceful and have the ability to learn, there isn't anything that you can't accomplish.
It's so true. And I love how you are just so open to, well, what else can I glean from this person and glean from this person? Because you had success and you're not thinking, I've arrived, I'm done. And I feel as though you find happiness when you're growing and you're learning. And I think that's really admirable, you know?
Well, ultimately, I still feel very broke. So what I mean by that is not economically broke, but like the goals are so lofty that I'm not even remotely close, right? And so
Crusher.
and there's purpose behind those goals. And I think that's what people have to really understand, is that it's not just an economic driven mission, there's purpose. So when I share with people that the desire is to own a sports franchise, that's the end goal, okay? And there's a level of economics that need to be behind that. However, I realized when I pivot and look at what the purpose is, it will allow me to completely finance, my children's leadership curriculum that developed, that's sitting on the fence right now. It'll allow me to have the influence to impact those that need to learn and listen, because let's face it, I mean, you've been in the industry, you've done extremely well, and your success, I've had a chance now to really have a front row seat at and watch and just say, oh my gosh, this woman's killing it.
Thank you.
But you understand that, no circumstance is permanent, right? So we have to take full advantage. And if we're going to help and serve people, we have to be in positions to do that. And so I know that my responsibility, that my God-given mission, on this earth is to really not only impact, but help people come to realize that this spiritual thing is real and that I can prove it to you and there's evidence. And then once you get in line with it, and listen, we respect all religions. This is not a religion conversation, but what I'm simply saying, spiritually, being in alignment to say, look, there's something bigger than you. There's something that can move with you, right? Some people love to say the universe, Mother Nature. I don't want to say whatever you want to call it, because that's not, I'm not in alignment with that. But the facts are that you want that behind you, because this game is hard, right? There's nothing easy about this grind. There's nothing easy about the sacrifice. There's nothing easy about if you got little humans in your life or a big human in your life and they're missing you and they're like, where are you? So, you're like, why am I doing this? It has to have a deep desire and obsession, knowing that when you achieve that threshold, whatever that may be, the impact, subsequently that comes after that is going to be something that you can be fulfilled with. And that's why I mentioned in the book, there's transformation first, then success, but ultimately you must be fulfilled. And the work you do has to mean something to you, has to value something, and it won't be measured in your bank account.
Yeah. And I think that's what everybody wants, is to feel fulfilled and content. And people will say, I need you, people on my team will be like, I need you to motivate me today. Or people will message me and say, how are you so driven? And it's not like I sit down and set goals. It's outside of me now. Like, it's so big, my need to serve other people and know I have it in me now. It's like, I can't stop. Like, there's no rest for the weary. And that's what I really liked about your book, is about not, you call it the jungle of struggle, but I think sometimes people resist all of these roadblocks or challenges or upper limits, and they don't understand that it's part of the process. And that's why, again, you guys, and please share in the comments your favorite takeaway of what he shared so far, the art of the struggle. And I want to talk to you about Top Summit too. So this book, where can everybody get this book?
So here's what we're going to do, because right now we're in like I said, a promotional season. And what I'm going to do is, for those of you who are listening, I'm going to set Ms. Olsen up with a link where, for those of you that decide you want the book, we're going to make sure it's a signed copy, okay? So we're going to get you a signed copy, so don't run over to Amazon. It's there, or Barnes & Nobles, or wherever other bookstores located at. And I greatly appreciate it. If you can't wait, you're more than welcome. But we're going to do that because I have a message that I want to make sure that everybody gets in that book, because it's all about bearing fruit, right? And producing a harvest. And I think when you're in business, and especially in life, you have to understand your seasons, because so many entrepreneurs fall down in their battle because, and we call them the fallen, right? Simply just because they didn't realize where they were at in their season. They didn't realize that they were in their season of sowing, or was it time to reap, and the patience in between, or the time to protect, right, during the summer months. So I want to make sure that you have a chance to get that message, because I think it's going to be a blessing to those of you that take that book serious, because it transformed my life.
No, I love it. It's amazing.
You know, I love to say I was brilliant, but I just think once I got in alignment, you know, that energy moved through me, and literally in 90 days of focused concentration, I produced that product.
It's amazing. And I think it's awesome because a lot of books are kind of that self-help. And I feel as though this is like the raw and real. Like self-help is awesome and it feels good. But then what happens when you have a bad day? Like I feel like this is anticipating the bad day so you know what to do and you can get back up quicker. So what I'm going to do, you guys, put LINK, you know where, and then I'll have my messenger send you a link directly that I'll get from him. So we'll put that in there for you. We're also going to put a link that's going to say the Top Summit. It'll probably say register, grab your seat. So can you share with them the big reveal of how this came to be, why we're so excited, and how all this magic is coming together?
You know, it's almost like a cataclysmic event, right? Like we're like just the perfect storm. You know, where all natural elements come together, and you're just like, wow. And so I have to start first with my only two partners, because it really began with those two incredible women. They had a vision, and they really, because they've had tremendous success in the industry of network marketing, and currently they like to stay behind the scenes, so they don't want me to mention their names right now, but they are just givers and they're selfless. And they said, look, what can we do to really be a pillar in the industry, you know, a generic pillar to support and elevate and help, you know, encourage this profession. And so when they came to me looking for that additional support, I said, let me ask you a question. How would you feel about, you know, really evaluating like what really has given all of us like that unfair advantage? Because I think the greatest technologies, opportunities, businesses, even relationships typically come when a problem is being solved, right? Mm-hmm. And so when we look at what's given us that, like where it just went from tremendous struggle to breakthrough. And we realized that it was a couple of things. And the primary source was really just being aligned in a spiritual sense, where now we are able to take that weight off of us. Like when you're battling to get to the next level, the next rank, you know, the next promotion, the next getting that comment in that check, and you're battling and you have, you know, the mundane of your life happening, you want to know that at the end you win, right? Mm-hmm. And to really get into a place of that, we really want to cultivate the minds of our attendees. We want to create a culture and an environment where we become like the farmers, and we look at the people attending as like the land, and we want to fertilize that land. We want to enrich that land so that when those amazing seeds are sown from the stage, they can take root. Because we see so many people, I've attended a lot of events, I'm sure you have as well, where people are leaving, they're excited, they're energized, they're motivated, right? That's that mythical word that we can kind of dissect later. So there's willpower versus purpose power, right? Two distinctions. And so their willpower, they're ready to go, they get home, and then they're hit with life again. You know, it's like you made a sacrifice to get to the event, and now you realize your checking account's in the negative, right? And bills are due, or you get a flat tire, and now you got to go to Discount Tire to pay for it, and your credit card is maxed out, and now you're frustrated that you went to the event, and you're discouraged. So, you know, I mean, it's
true, right?
The struggle's real. So we quickly realized, like, okay, how can we help combat that? And so part of that was, number one, helping people take advantage of a tool which is in the spiritual realm, right? Then the second one was post-event support. We said, what if we can help people begin to reimagine their experience, right? When you think about, it's always said that I may not remember what you said, but I remember how I felt. Mm-hmm. And so if we can capture moments from the event and repurpose those takeaways, those key conversations, call to actions, philosophies, strategies, and repurpose that into our attendees' lives. And if there's, you know, call it 15 people, I mean, you got potentially 15 weeks worth of content coming to you to help encourage you, redirecting you to the speakers so that you're creating an environment post-event. So you're in an environment, and then you leave into an environment, and then you have your corporate environment with your company. So we just wanted to be a conduit, a bridge, if you will, from event to event, where we can keep people locked in, focused on their mission, focused on their reason, their purpose, their why, so that they can actually achieve something. Because here's what I know. Freedom is amazing. Freedom mentally, even before it's financially, just when you're free emotionally, and you're not waking up wondering how things are going to get done. And it starts even without having money, because when you really align yourself, you can become free knowing that it's going to get handled. Like when you know things are just going to get handled, but you don't know how, but you just rest and know that, it gives you this level of peace. Your body begins to feel different. You move different, and you begin to attract people differently, because you're moving in a sense of certainty. You're certain that I'm going to win this race. You're certain that I'm going to achieve this goal. You're certain I'm going to retire that spouse. I'm certain that my children are going to have the best education. I'm certain that I'm going to be able to write that check to that nonprofit or create that foundation I've always wanted to do. You become certain. And we want Top Summit to create certainty in people's minds so they can go and battle.
Boom. Drop the mic. That's amazing. I freaking love it. You guys, you all want to go. You know it. So isn't it right now? Because obviously some people will catch the replay, but aren't we on a deadline right now? Isn't there a promo?
So listen, you have to get yourself there. And we've done some amazing things that I'm going to discuss with you right now to help you get there. So first and foremost, you got to realize that we're going to be on an island. Now, don't panic.
It's amazing.
Don't panic. We're not somewhere off the coast of the Indian Sea or in the Bahamas, which is all great. But we're going to be in Michigan at Mackinac Island. Listen,
beautiful.
If you've never been to Mackinac Island, now I've lived in Michigan all my life, and as a kid, I've driven through Mackinac Island, but I've never actually been until just a couple of weeks ago when we went to a Grand Hotel to do our walkthrough. But I just have to kind of take you through my island that day, because it was an amazing experience. And that's what our other co-founders, as well as myself, we wanted people to have an experience, because that's the beginning of transformation. What you experience, you believe, right? So imagine getting there, and they're taking your bags, right, at the ferry and loading them for you, so you don't have to carry your bags. And then you get on this ferry and you're going across, right, the lake, beautiful lake. To your left, you're going to see the Mackinac Bridge, which is like 5 miles long. I mean, it's just amazing place, especially in the summertime. Then you get to the dock, and you listen, and you realize there's no cars.
I love it.
There's no cars.
Instagram.
You see people are either riding bikes, walking, horse and carriage. I mean, there's horses running up and down the streets, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, they're tame, so don't panic. If you're like, you got a fear of big beasts, it's not, they're great. But you're like, where are we? Did we just go back in time? And then you go up to this beautiful, like enchanted like hotel that looks like something out of the early 1800s, right? That's clean, well kept. To the right is a beautiful golf course, and you're greeted by people from all over the world that's working there during the season. And then you just go into your room, and you almost feel like Alice in Wonderland. I mean, that's like the best way to describe it. And here's a remarkable thing about the rooms: no two rooms are identical. So
I didn't know that.
Has its own identity.
Cool.
And so we have set this up that not only can you get educated and listen to Rachel Hollis, okay? Like Rachel Hollis is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. She's going to be there,
so
and she's going to bring the fire that's going to begin the transformation. Then you have some of the greatest trainers in the world in the industry network marketing. Ray Higdon is going to be in the same building. Rob Sperry, Fraser Brooks in the same building. Then you have the Goal Digger girl herself is going to be in the building with us as well. Kimberly Olsen is going to be in the building with a host of amazing top multiple 6, 7, 8, and 8-figure earners. And here's what we told everyone. When they said, what do you want me to talk about? I said, let me tell you what the purpose and the mission is. And when people were aligned with that, we said, I need you to bring the message that you're being moved and led to speak, because there's going to be a different energy that comes off of you when you communicate that message, and people are going to embrace it and internalize it. Therefore, it's going to have a different movement in their life than just something that you're good at training on. So everyone had an independent thought and message. There was no conflicts. I'm like, this is so great, right? Like, we're excited. So I'm telling you right now, what we've done, we recently have an Independence Day, literally for your general ticket sale right now, this promo that's happening, is that tickets have been reduced to $497. Now you say, why did we do that? Because we're all about value. We were able to move some things around. We were able to expand some things. And we said, we want to get people in this room that are looking for when they go into the fourth quarter of 2019 and expecting a tremendous 2020, okay? We want to help those individuals be fully equipped on how to really take on the non-tangible skill sets while being trained with the tangible skill sets. And when you combine those two together, it is an unstoppable force. Yeah. And that's what we're going to help you become, is an unstoppable force. So where do you need to be August 4th through the 7th? You need to be with Kimberly, along with myself, up at the Mackinac Island, where we're going to show you how to transform some things. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be an amazing group of people. And right now, it is men. We need some men there because this thing is packed full of women, okay? And I'm cool with that. I am totally okay with that. But I have to tell you, men, let's get there as well, because we have just some dynamic people that are just doing work that is unmatched right now in the marketplace, globally and nationally. And they're going to be with us. I mean, I'm watching people rearrange events that I never thought they would rearrange to participate at our Top Summit.
Hey, it's going to be magical. And there's a community too. So I'll put the link in there for that too. Yes. It's called the Top Summit community, and anybody can be in that community. So I guest trained in there today, but people that are participating in the summit are doing guest trainings leading up to it. That's just the tip of the iceberg. And then we're going to get into the event and then to have the post trainings after and the support. So I'll put a link in there as well for that. You'll get a message for that. And then also, so just put LINK and you'll get the thing for that as well. And then what else? I think that was mainly it. So Reggie, you were amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time. You guys go get his book. I'll have the link for that. You guys can grab it. And I'm just excited to continue this conversation. I can feel it. Amazing, magical things are going to happen, and people's lives are going to be changed.
Thank you. And I'm grateful that you're putting this on, that you're exposing this to your community. We don't take that for granted. We really don't. I don't. The Top Summit team doesn't. We're extremely grateful. And we look forward to continually work with you and helping you accomplish, your goals and helping you serve your community greater. That's what we're here to do, is serve.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching. Have a good night. We'll see you later.
Take care. Bye-bye.